15-30.
Interesting to see that Henman was staying back behind a first serve then.
Well, this shot from Courier virtually unplayable. Henman guarding the downline pass as you must.
Courier. First game.
So a very tentative starter from Tim Henman, knowing of course that he plays perhaps one of the toughest men mentally in the game on the big occasion.
Yes, David, I think that there we see Jim Courier. The one thing that Jim Courier does well is return serve off of his backhand. In fact, you'd have thought his forehand return would be stronger, but I think there's a key to this match. One of the keys is that Henman needs to serve many balls, first and second serves, to Courier's forehand to keep him honest, because Courier loves to back into his returns and hit his forehand moving backwards. And if you can make him move out of the court, then, especially in the deuce court, then Henman will get a lot of open court volleys.
Time. Courier to serve. Love.
120 miles an hour, the opening ace.
Love.
And in fact, Tim Henman's footwork a bit leaden on that shot. He almost tripped over his feet. You can see that the nerves are still with him. Probably will be another 2 or 3 more games.
Love.
Well, he's a member of the club, so he's entitled to bring his own net.
Net, first service. Courier leads by 2 games to love. First set. Fifteen love.
Jim Courier launching himself into this backhand return. Henman strictly beaten for pace. The ball wasn't directed particularly close to the line, but very quick. A nice deft touch from Henman, but Courier's return far too predictable.
Courier leads by 2 games to 1 first set.
Well, Tim Henman will be very grateful for that complete mishit to give himself his first game of the match. But it's Jim Courier undoubtedly who's made the terrific start and showing no adverse effects of the problems he had after that marathon match with Xing Xiaoqun, needing to go to hospital for IV rehydration.
Yes, I think that because he had 2 days off after that, that Jim Courier will be feeling no ill effects of that. I remember talking to Jimmy Connors after he had to have an IV after one of his memorable 5-set semifinals at the US Open and had to go out and play the final the next day. And Jimmy said, after I felt better than I had before the semifinal after I had the drip. It was incredible how it improved him. So Courier, I'm sure, is feeling very strong.
You'll notice that Tom Gullickson, the American Davis Cup captain, has joined Brad Stein in the competitors' box. Getting a little dark again, and just the odd speckle of rain beginning to fall. We'll keep our fingers crossed that it's no more than that.
Love 15.
Tim Henman off his chair very early at that last change of ends, trying to get the legs pumping, trying to get the nerves out of the system.
Well, we see just the winning drop volley from Henman.
And the rain is coming down and the covers are coming back on. We've had 11 minutes of play. Henman with a chance to break back.
So the match was stopped briefly because of rain. They're off court for about an hour before play resumed. We'll pick up the action with Jim Courier leading Tim Henman 2-1 and down love 30.
Courier to serve, love 30. Net first service.
Courier playing that approach shot rather safely, but a firm backhand volley. I think that tactic surprised Henman just a little.
Slice return, keeping the ball very low, forcing the error. 2 break-back points.
Two against all, first set.
The chip forehand that we saw Henman hit there is very much a feature of his game. His main ambition is to get the return in play, preferably low, if possible. He doesn't go for many winners unless the shot is just begging to be hit.
Get the ball. Love.
Henman guiding that forehand, wrong-footing Courier.
Love. Henman leads by 3 games to 2 first set.
Well, what a contrast between Henman's approach to the second start, if I can put it that way, the restart of the match, compared with the original start. Very positive.
Yes, no doubt he'll have had conversation in the locker room with David Felgate, and indeed learned himself that he needed to be more aggressive and didn't want to come out tentatively again. I'm sure being up love 30 in that game on the resumption was a good thing for him, knowing that this was a great time to capitalize on the advantage that Courier would be just a little bit nervous having to serve at love 30, and Henman's done well.
Time.
Just a little delay because there's an announcement by the chief executive of the club about play on the other courts.
Hopefully more play on the outside courts within 10 minutes. Thank you.
So we've got play on the outside courts, hopefully resume in 10 minutes. Here it's 2-3.
Love.
The Henman forehand is the side that always will bring more errors from him. Hits a lot of winners, but somewhat erratic.
Love.
Well, Courier hardly cringing at the thought of Henman's chip and charge ploy there.
Again, Courier. Three games all, first set.
Courier answers Henman's love service game with one of his own. And both men now seemingly have settled down, 3-all.
Love 15.
Well, that passing shot of Jim Courier struck with complete venom. Henman just not ready quick enough for the volley.
Love 30.
Well, Courier seeing the ball beautifully and striking it with such power. Courier not catching up to that kick serve of Henman's, offering him really a very short return. It is easily dispatched. Henman closing in. Watch him move forward for this ball, never letting it drop below the level of the net.
Fastest serve of the match, 128 miles an hour. On the line.
This is a brilliant return off of a serve of that power, to be able to redirect it so precisely.
Advantage Courier.
Well, Henman is going to have to be careful how many times he hits his second serve into Courier's pocket. That return, that launching return, is his favorite one.
New balls, please. Courier leads by 4 games to 3 set.
Henman drops his serve for the second time, and that time choosing to stay back behind the first serve. And the way Courier's hitting his ground shots, is this wise?
Well, I don't think so. I don't think it's a wise decision by Henman, although it's one that he is really comfortable in, and he feels that he's an all-court player, and that he can that it keeps the opponent off guard. If he serves and volleys all the time, the opponent has an opportunity to get into a rhythm returning. But I think that Tim sometimes loses the opportunity to put away highish volleys, as that return was. It was it would have been a relatively easy volley for Henman coming in, and instead it landed deep in the court, and Tim had to start over. And if Tim is trying to rally with Jim Courier, I don't care what surface it is. This court, while it is a grass court, it is so flat and so dry that it's almost playing as a hard court.
Stop.
Love 15.
I have to tell you, that serve was over the baseline, let alone the service line.
Well, that toss will have been blown around by the wind. It is far more blustery now than when we started. Yes, well, this touch volley from Jim Courier is a new development over the last few years. You would have never seen him at the net 6 or 7 years ago.
Net. Second service.
His straight forehand, the into out.
30-15.
Yes, and that is such a difficult shot, threading the needle over the net and yet landing it short enough so that it doesn't go wide of the tram lines.
To 15.
Two double faults in this game from Courier. Now it's up to Henman to take advantage.
Courier. Courier leads by 5-3, first set.
Rapidly changing light out here on the centre court. A moment ago we were in brilliant sunshine, now cloud cover again.
Oh. 15-1.
Fastest serve of the match again, up into the 130-mile-an-hour mark.
Courier leads by 5 games to 4 first set.
So, 2 successive aces from Henman, another love service game for him. But you were saying right at the start of this match that he needs to serve quite a lot to the forehand of Courier. Now, he's doing that in the deuce court, but not so much as we look at this in the ad court. So mixing it up, but he's going constantly to the backhand in the ad court, and Courier's really getting hold of those returns.
Yes, David, and of course he's probably thinking that that kick serve out wide to the backhand will pull Courier out of the court. But because that two-handed backhand is Courier's favorite return, I think that's a mistake. I think he needs to serve more balls to Courier's forehand and challenge him. Just say, listen, I don't care how great you think your forehand is. I'm going there, and I'm not going to let you sit on any return.
Courier serving for the set.
love. Love.
Just 33 minutes of actual playing time, and Henman facing 3 set points.
Game in the first set. Courier. Six games to 4. Courier leads by 1 set to love.
The gauntlet has been thrown down to the British number 1. Now he has to respond.
Love.
This is Henman in full flow. That first serve jamming Courier so he really doesn't get a full swing on it, and running right through that first volley.
Love. First game's second set.
Henman opens the second set with a love service game and signs that the serve and volley game beginning to get together.
Well, yes, I think it's more a mental sign, really, that Tim is determined to serve and volley. And you see why. Look how he jumps up into the air. That gives him great power, but it also helps get him into the net quicker. And his momentum carries him through that ball. He is a superb serve and volleyer, and sometimes you wonder why he doesn't do it more often. Again, launching himself into that serve, and the return doesn't come back. And the impressive thing that Henman did in that game was that he targeted on the first one Courier's body, on the second one Courier's forehand, and really challenged him and just said that this is what I'm going to do. See if you can react to it, rather than worrying about what Courier was going to do and chipping or spinning balls into Courier's backhand and worrying about what Courier was going to do with the return.
Love 15.
Third double.
Love 30.
Henman able to get that passing shot down low at Courier's feet, drawing the error.
And Courier too responding by varying his line of attack on the serve. That one right at the body of Henman.
And perhaps we can attribute that error to the blustery conditions, because Henman did not wait for that ball to get to him.
Game. Courier. 1-game all, second set.
Little opening in that game for Henman at love 30, but unable to take advantage.
Love. 30 love.
Well, that miss-hit return by Courier offering no resistance to the oncoming Henman.
Net, persists.
Henman's won 10 straight points on serve now.
This is a remarkable shot off of that Henman slice that stayed so low. How Courier was able to get that up over the net and inside the baseline with such power is incredible. Two double faults in this game, 40 love to deuce, and no doubt that the ball toss being affected by the wind, which has really got up during the course of the afternoon, and it's blustery, so it's not constant. Yes, not only the wind, but the sun. Henman looking directly into it from this end.
Advantage Henman. Henman leads by 2-1, second set, first set Courier.
Third ace for Tim Henman as he stays ahead, 2-1. Well, there's no doubt that the centre court is the place to be today. Tremendous programme. Whether we'll get through it all, of course, Anna Kournikova against Venus Williams. And then Boris Beck against Patrick Rafter. Whether we'll ever get to those matches, but the second Monday when we're playing the whole of the fourth round is a great day.
It certainly is, David. For my money, this Monday is always the best day of the tournament. When you have fourth round matches where the seeds first play one another in both the men's and singles, usually brings us 4 or 5 tantalizing matchups.
Listen. More. Net. Versetzt.
Courier suffering a little bit from a bad bounce there. The ball seemed to stop on him and kept rather low.
This lame duck
15-30.
directed directly at Courier's body. Henman giving him a courtesy wave. I'm not sure if he was real sorry.
This is the way that Courier wins a lot of points. Big first serve, sets up the short return, and the forehand. He can go either way. One of the great shots of the 90s, the Courier forehand. That's what separates the great from the merely very good. The ability to produce your best when you need it most. Breakpoint saved.
Advantage Courier.
Well, Courier attacking with that slice serve out wide, completely opening up the court. That was Henman's chip return at its very best, feathering the ball low.
Thank you.
Giving Courier a half volley to hit up at.
Wait, please.
Steers it down the line.
Advantage Courier.
Almost gave Henman a head fake there because he hit it so softly. Henman completely fooled, though.
Courier. Two against all, second set.
Well, the little gestures from Courier telling you just how much this match means to him. His results week in, week out these days are pretty modest, but when it comes to the big occasion, his dander's up.
First set. Love 15. Love 30.
Real opportunity here for Courier. Already set up, now looking for the break.
(15-30).
Equals the fastest serve of the match. Ace number 4. Really positive second serve from Henman, deep, following it in, challenging Courier to pass him.
(40-30).
40-30.
Game. Henman. Henman leads by 3 games to 2. Second set. First set, Courier.
Well, sighs of relief around the centre court as Henman escapes from a love 30 situation. It's a pretty tense crowd at the moment. They sense that Courier's really the man who's dictating out there.
Yes, I think you're right, David. Tim Henman, though, showing signs in the last few games of being able to mix things up to his advantage. That last serve that he hit, a first serve at 93 miles an hour, completely fooling Henman, or Courier rather.
Time.
Jim Courier really has played a superb match so far.
Love 15.
Best backhand of the match.
Love 30.
And exhorting the crowd to get into it much as they did in Birmingham. Well, this is a magnificent shot from Henman. Not only does it take great strength,
Love 40.
but skill as well. The most difficult shot in tennis.
3 break points.
That attempted pass was a very, very difficult one. Courier slicing backhand landing nearly on the baseline.
Half the crowd thought the chip charge was in. Would have been a clean winner, but just missed. Love 40 to deuce.
Thank you. Advantage, Courier. Game, Courier. Give off, please. New balls, please.
Well, this game is an extremely important one for Tim Henman, and he will know that the most difficult times holding serve are the games immediately following break point opportunities that you fail to capitalize on.
Change of balls, and Jim Courier going for a newly strung racket as well. Make sure the tension is correct. Can go off just as the balls go off during the 9 games. I think waiting for the wind to die down a little bit, a real gust.
Round 15.
Well, Henman really flapping at that volley, so anxious to put it away. This off backhand return so devastating after Courier has hit a stream of backhand returns up the line, keeping Henman honest. One of the very few bad misses that we've seen Courier make today. He's hitting the ball extremely well.
To 40. Deuce.
Both of them have now saved break points in this set with aces.
Hit the sixth. Advantage Henman.
Certainly is biting nails time.
Deuce.
Well, Courier mopping up after that brilliant forehand return off of the Henman first serve.
Advantage Courier.
Fourth double fault, and Henman again facing break point.
Deuce.
It's interesting that Henman's trying to get the crowd going. They're quiet, but not because they don't care. It's just they're too nervous. They can't breathe out there.
Advantage, Henman. Deuce.
Well, Henman just forcing that overhead a little. It hit such a fantastic spur serve on the line that Courier returned, perhaps wondering what he had to do to win the point.
Advantage, Henman. Henman leads by 4 games to 3. Second set, first set, Courier.
Two huge games. Courier first of all holding from love 40, then Henman clinging on, saving 2 break points with 2 aces. This is great stuff.
Yes, it certainly is. And you could see the relief on the faces of the people in the crowd. That was a truly dangerous situation. Well, the last point in that game, in fact, Courier missed a relatively easy passing shot, and he had put Henman under such pressure that I'm sure Tim would have been very happy to see that ball go into the net.
One statistic that I find really surprising is we look how successful the 2 men have been at the net. I mean, Courier is doing far better than Henman. Henman's losing more points than he's winning at the net. Courier's winning double the points he loses.
Yes, that surely is a surprising statistic, and showing how Courier has improved his net game and his willingness to come to the net in the last few years. I think a lot of that has to do with Courier's returning, though, really handcuffing Henman on the first volley.
About 15. Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you have a mobile telephone, please switch off. Thank you.
Normally got such good hands around the net, but a couple of shots now. Real rank mishits.
All. 40-30. Courier.
Henman not doing enough with this approach shot, landing short
4 games all.
in the Courier wheelhouse.
Love. Love. Love.
Henman now persistently coming in behind the second serve. I'm sure he's right to do so.
Game. Henman. Henman leads by 5 games to 4. Second set. First set, Courier.
Peter, we know how much this match means to Tim Henman. Obviously, it's his dream and always has been to win Wimbledon. But for Jim Courier, to get back into a Grand Slam quarter-final, he hasn't been there since the French of 1996. So here's a man who's reigned supreme, been #1 in the world, 2 French, 2 Australian. It's a chance to get back into the limelight again.
Yes, I think situations like this are why Jim Courier still plays tennis. You know, he had that problem about 3 or 4 years ago where he just had lost all motivation. And matches like this one are really compelling for just about everyone, but especially the competitor. And someone like Jim Courier will have real difficulties getting psyched up to play a match on court 5 in Singapore. But when he's playing against Tim Henman on Wimbledon center court, that's something to look forward to. Dave Felgate urging on his man, Tim Henman.
To 15. To 15.
Nothing predictable about the game of Courier today. He's mixing it up. You'd normally expect him to play the into-out forehand from that position. Instead, he whips it down the line.
Game, Courier. Five games all. Second sets.
Clouds mercifully quite high at the moment.
Love.
Well, Henman did very well digging that low volley off of his shoe tops.
Love.
Once again, Henman having to parry these vicious returns from Courier's backhand.
Every point is a mini classic at the moment.
30-15.
Courier on top of every return, setting himself up for relatively easy passing shots. That serve coming in at 128 miles an hour, handcuffing Courier.
Henman leads by 6 games to 5. Second set, first set, Courier.
Peter, I know there is always a tendency amongst we sports commentators to over-egg things and say, well, this is fantastic, but there, Henman probably played as good a serving game as he possibly could. He got every first serve in pace, but he still had to work for that game.
Yes, that game, I suppose, belied the opinion of so many people that grass court tennis is just not watchable anymore. Henman's first serves were going in at 132, 128 miles an hour, and yet Courier was still able to get the returns back so low. And you see why Henman is able to deliver such power with such a slight. And look at the knee bend and how he launches himself up into the air. That helps him generate the pace that he achieves. He gets his shoulders around, so he gets a bit of body torque, but really the feature of that serve is the extreme knee bend. Henman sneaking in behind that return, delaying his move to try to bluff Courier, and it worked.
Quickly. Low 30.
Points away from leveling. Seventh double fault, and Courier faces set points.
30-40. White, please. Game in second set, Henman. 7-5.
Well, that's the reaction to Henman winning a set.
One set all.
Could so easily have slipped away. Imagine what the reaction will be if he wins the match.
Quiet, please. Players are ready. Thank you. Well, 15.
Well, the confidence beginning to flow in Henman. Starting to move with far more fluidity. The relief that the crowd and everyone on the center court felt at Henman winning that set is really palpable, and you can see it in Henman's performance now.
Just long.
30 all.
Well, no one could accuse either of these men of not trying. He was there too. He'll be disappointed not to have slid it down the line.
Net. First service. Close out.
Well,
30-40.
what happened there is the line judge first called it out, then corrected her call, and umpire Jorge Diaz has said it was out. So the decision is it's point to Courier, correctly, and it's break point. Yes, definitely out.
deuce.
Ever since he served his way out of 2 match points against Yevgeny Kavalnikov in this very court, Henman always seems to have that uncanny knack of playing the big points well. Flukes it back, but it doesn't matter how.
Advantage Henman.
Well, it's Henman's mobility around the court that saved this point. Not only did he get that shot back, but he was covering that shot that forced Courier to cut it just a little too fine.
First game, third set, 1 set all.
3 successive games then for Tim Henman, and you can visibly see and you can audibly hear the change of mood around the centre court, all stemming from winning that set.
Yes, and Tim Henman played such a fantastic point on set point. He likes to just chip the returns in play, wants to get a very high percentage of balls in. Now, anytime you have a set point, the key is to try and put your opponent under pressure, and Henman comes in as quickly as possible. And here, he's pretending as though he's Peter Schmeichel, really, just a goalkeeper. He's hit, just defending that net, trying to do nothing more. You can also play defense from the net, really bluffing Courier, forcing him to pass him. And right there you see him exhorting the crowd to get into this match, because Tim Henman he knows he has such a powerful ally in the crowd. It's his home court advantage. And I think he gets frustrated sometimes when the crowd gets so nervous that he's not able to use that weapon that he can when the crowd is excited.
Love. Love.
Great difference now in the Henman mood as well, playing that very calmly, not doing too much, just flicking it away. Remember the easy overhead he missed in the previous set, trying to force it.
40-15. Game Courier. 1 game all, third set. 15 love. Thirty love. To 15.
Well, a beautifully constructed point from both players there. They're showing every shot in the book.
That's second service.
Well, Henman paying for the fact that he's served so many balls to the Courier backhand. Courier able to sit on that shot just a little bit.
Game, Henman. New balls, please. Henman leads by 2 games to 1, third set. 1 set all.
So Tim Henman stays ahead in this third set. 2-1 on serve. Now, midway through the second set, we were noticing that Henman had actually lost more points than he'd won at the net, but he's really turned that around now.
Yes, David, towards that second set, Henman really became more aggressive and started coming to net at all opportunities. And you can see here that Henman taking the forehand approach shot, coming in. Courier now hits a tremendous one-handed slice lob that gets caught up in the wind. Henman thinking at first that that ball was going long, and now we have the players scurrying around, and Courier eventually coming in to put the volley away. So the American to serve at 1-2.
15 love.
Serving with new balls, and you noticed how that one really flew off the racket of Henman.
$30. 40 love.
Watch the kick on this serve. It bounces about, well, dramatically sideways. Henman had no chance. Only 96 miles an hour, but direction per...
Game, Courier.
NASCAR's Winston Cup, the Pepsi 400. Experience the awesome power. Live and exclusive. NASCAR Pepsi 400, 10 o'clock Sunday morning. Fox Sports 2.
July on Fox Sports. Catch the Superbikes as they tear up the track at Laguna Seca. Plus all classes of the World Motorcycle Championship exclusively live. Unmatched coverage, unbeatable action. That's Fox Sports in July.
Good morning, and day 8 of the championships now appears to be a complete washout. There's been no action on the court so far, and officials are shortly expected to suspend play for the remainder of the day. However, through the morning we'll have more highlights from week 1. For the moment, let's return to the Henman-Courier match. We're into the third set. Courier serving 2-3 down.
$15 love. $30 love.
This Courier serve is so difficult to deal with because not only does it come at you at speed, but it bounces up so high. Difficult to generate pace at such a height when your arms are outstretched.
$40 love. Game, Courier. 3 games all. First set.
3 successive love service games, and it's almost as if the two warriors are girding up their loins as we get down towards the sharp end of set 3.
Love 15.
This off backhand return is not an easy shot to hit. Courier takes the pace off it perfectly to direct it inside the sideline.
Our friendly pigeon is back.
(30-15).
Well, this volley from Henman was just a stroke of magic.
(40-15). Henman leads by 4 games to 3. Third set, 1 set all.
Peter, it seems both men are back to business with a relish now.
Yes, David, the interesting shot here that Henman hits is after Courier decides to come into net, seeing that his ball is going to go so deep. Henman trying a sliced pass, which is very unusual, and Courier reacting so well at the net here. And this one was just help. Yeah, again, Courier covering the net very well for a guy who's not known as a serve and volleyer. This ball,
time.
If you're gonna guess, be sure you protect yourself. Henman going for perhaps just a little bit of intimidation there.
15 love.
Well, Courier fooling Henman there with that one-handed slice backhand. He took it a little bit earlier than he would have normally on his two-hander.
Well, that's only the second point Henman has won against the Courier serve in this set.
Tim Henman's priority on those chip and charge plays is always to get the ball in play. Sometimes that leaves him vulnerable because the return falls short.
(40-15). Game, Courier. Four games on, third set.
Typical bullish service game from Jim Courier, giving no quarter. Set all 4-all.
That second serve very deep, only 102 miles an hour, but directed right at the Courier body.
Time and again, Henman's skills on the half volley, the low volley are being tested. We reach the 2-hour mark in terms of actual playing time.
Yes, Courier coming in on a prayer, really, but not having it answered, unfortunately, for him.
40-30.
Of course, they first came on the court at 1 o'clock this afternoon, with 2 rain interruptions before play had even begun, and the other after 3.5 games.
Game. Henman. Henman leads by 5 games to 4. First set, 1 set all.
So Henman keeping his nose in front on serve, 5-4. Is there a sense in a 5-set match, Pete, in which you pace yourself? You say, well, look, as long as I hold serve in the early part of the set, then I can really make an effort to break as we get down to the end of the set?
I don't think so. I think the players that have to pace themselves over 5 sets are the ones who inevitably will lose to players who don't have to pace themselves. And really the key when you play against one of the very best, the number 1s, number 2s in the world, their intensity is there throughout every point, every shot of a 5-set match. And that is why they beat lesser ranked players. It's not because they're better physically, it's that mentally their stamina is so strong and they can focus just continually throughout a set.
Serving to stay in the 3rd set. Just wide. What a pickup by Courier.
Well, Henman successfully putting Courier under pressure, but what a magnificent reaction right there. That shot into the open court won him the point. That backhand up the line from Henman is a shot that can win him this match. He must keep Courier honest, keep Courier from backing into his backhand corner and clouding forehands all day.
At first service. 40-30.
Well, Henman had made up his mind that he was going to chip and charge there, and the Courier second serve was just a little bit too strong.
Game. Courier. 5 games all. Third set.
We wondered whether this match could match the intensity of the one in the Davis Cup tie in Birmingham in April. Shows every signs of doing so.
Thank you.
1 set all and 5 all. Those net courts can be so cruel because Henman had that point absolutely in the bag. He had the volley covered to put it into open court.
Well played, Henman there, delaying his charge to the net. Just an instant, putting Courier off that slice. He was just going to play it deep, and seeing Henman come in mid-swing, muffed the shot.
Incredible play from Courier.
This was just a magnificent point from both players. Courier really finding his range on these lobs now.
He's off the hold back in case he breaks.
This is.
This is a brilliant half volley once again from Henman. Courier peppering him with low, hard returns of serve.
Deuce. Advantage Henman.
Yes, Henman serving under pressure. What he does best. A good reaction.
Net, that's it. Henman leads by 6 games to 5. Third set, 1 set all.
Henman doing so well to get himself out of 15-40. This was the last point of that 11th game.
Yes, and Henman moving through that backhand volley, flowing, and he really has, over the last 2 or 3 years, improved his mobility around the court. He now is very strong overhead, although he will miss an overhead or two. But does cover the court now so very well.
And the one good thing about this match from Henman's point of view, there haven't been any of those concentration lapses that he's renowned for. He can't afford any against Courier in this form.
Exactly right. And that is, well, that's the rap against him. But that's why he's such a good big match player, better big match player than smaller match player, because it forces him to focus on every shot, every point.
Right off the frame, but it counts.
Well, Henman almost feeling as though this point was in the bag. Wow, almost made a hash of that forehand volley.
Love 30.
You can see Henman has made a decision to come to the net at every opportunity.
Thank you. $15-30.
Well, this shot was reminiscent of my old buddy John McEnroe at full stretch, still able to land the ball right into the corner.
Thank you.
2 set points.
Thank you.
It's been called out.
And third set. Henman. Ball change, please. 5. Henman leads by 2 sets to 1.
Well, Courier didn't like that last call. He looked at umpire Diaz, but there was no way on the far sideline that he could possibly overrule. 2 sets to 1 to Henman.
15 more.
He's still grumbling about the set point. Now let's have a look at that set point. This was the shot of Courier. It was called out. Remember, he set point down and it was out. It was a good call. And Courier now getting the crowd on his back. Mind you, he's someone who seems to thrive by doing that.
To love. No! 40-15. First game, 4 sets. Henman leads by 2 sets to 1.
Well, Peter, for the first time in the match, Jim Courier looking a little disturbed, a little rattled out there.
Yes, I think he looked hard done by on that call at set point down. We could see that it was a correct call, but in Courier's mind, it was not, and he had a running dialogue with Jorge Diaz during that game. And Courier, as you said, does thrive on that. If his adrenaline is running down a little bit, he needs something to get himself motivated and pumped up. And of course, now the momentum of this match has completely swung in Henman's favor, and Courier is going to have to quickly get himself regrouped, because the crowd has found themselves more and more into this match. And if they continue to do so, they can really carry Henman through to this 4th set victory. Vital, though, that Henman capitalize on his momentum and finish the job off right now, early in this 4th set, before Courier can regroup.
Love. 40 love.
Well, it seems as if Jim Courier's answer may be to deny Henman the net position by getting there himself. He's played 2 terrific points at the net.
Game, Courier. 1 game all. 4 sets.
Tempting providence, I know, but Tim Henman has never lost a match at Wimbledon that has gone to 5 sets, and he can only lose this match if it goes to 5 sets.
Oh. 15 love.
Exquisite feel on the lob.
It's very difficult to hit one shot at 100 miles an hour, and the next one nicely placed at about 60 miles an hour. But Henman does it beautifully.
Love. Game, Henman. Henman leads by 2 games to 1. 4 sets, and by 2 sets to 1.
6 love service games now for Tim Henman, and the serve and volley game really flowing as the confidence flows through his veins.
Well, yes, David, when Tim is serving and volleying as he has been in this match, it makes you wonder why he doesn't do it more often. He likes to serve and stay back so often. And I suppose that's really his personality. He feels that he would rather, well, you can see Henman serving and volleying on 68% of his points, service points, which is quite a bit higher than it was early in the match. Courier just starting to serve and volley once in a while recently in the match.
It is funny, isn't it? Boris Becker got into one period when he believed he could beat everybody from the back of the court. Well, you don't have to if you've got one of the best serves and volley games in the business.
Exactly right. And the serve and volley, I mean, Tim hasn't quite developed it into a devastating weapon. And if he believed in it just a little bit more, it could just be one of these weapons like Ruzetsky's serve that people really feared. Anyway, 1-2.
Well, 15.
Now, at one stage, Henman was well ahead in the unforced errors count. Now Courier has overtaken him.
15 all.
This is a brilliant pass. Henman only able to take the racket halfway back and flick it at the ball. Perfect accuracy. Oh, well, if you're not going to try, go home.
(40-30).
Henman stroking that very smoothly and accurately.
Advantage Courier.
Yes, Henman knows that was a real opportunity. Got a short second serve.
Again, Courier. 2 games all. 4 sets.
Both of those last 2 returns, Henman targeting more aggressively. Well, the Courier topspin backhand sitting up nicely for Henman to swat away. This flatter stroke of Henman's moves through the court a lot faster.
40 love.
I mean, Jesus, that's good.
Courier having a little chat with the crowd around him.
Henman leads by 3 games to 2. 4 set and by 2 sets to 1.
Faces in the crowd we were seeing then looking much more relaxed now, with in the second set when Henman was really clinging on. There was incredible tension around the centre court, and now it's Courier who's looking the tenser of the two.
Well, yes, and rightfully so. Although there are no breaks in this 4th set, his back is up against the wall. But I think if you asked him, he would tell you that's exactly how he likes it. That gets Jim Courier, gets the adrenaline flowing through him. And we saw, of course, in Birmingham how well he plays when the pressure's on. And of course, there is his Davis Cup captain, Tom Gullickson, the top right of your screen, sitting next to his coach, Brad Stein. David Felgate and Jason Goodall in front of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, as a courtesy to the players, don't use flash photography. Thank you.
And the fact that that request is being made tells you that the light has really gone quite dark.
Love 15.
And there's a further indication of that. Of course, our cameras enhance every little bit of light there is. Just long.
Well, not much in it, but clearly long.
$30-15.
Courier not appreciating that low bouncing soft chip from Henman, forcing him to hit that slice backhand with one hand.
by surprise by almost a topspin serve from Courier that just lifted like a Curtly Ambrose bouncer.
The threat of that Courier forehand forcing Henman to aim closer and closer to the sideline.
Game Courier. Courier games all. 4 sets.
So we stay on serve. That was the first break point of this 4th set, and I have no idea what Henman was thinking about on that final shot. Most extraordinary lapse of concentration then. 3-all.
Love. All.
That was 10 out of 10 for Jim Courier.
Come on, Jimmy!
30-15.
Henman feeding off the power that Courier is giving him with each return.
All 30 all. It seems just a moment ago that Henman had a break point for 4-2. Now he's facing break point.
Deuce.
Only 10 aces for Henman, but seemingly every one on a big point.
That's just so clutch. I mean, geez.
Well, Courier turning away, muttering something, holding up Henman.
Advantage Henman. Henman leads by 4 games to 3.
Well, if we've seen this point once, we've seen it 25 times in this match. Jim Courier whacking that return back off of a Henman first serve, but Henman able to float his first volley so close to the baseline. Anytime you have to pass someone from that far behind the baseline, someone who moves as well as Henman does at the net, and with such touch around the net, you are in big trouble. Once again showing why he's such an imposing serve and volleyer. Very relaxed at the net.
Time. Players are ready. Love 15.
For once, Henman a little upright playing that backhand slice, didn't get down to it. Pigeons are attacking us once more. They've found a lofty perch.
Oh. 30-15.
Well, I hate to be a harbinger of doom, but that's rain, I'm afraid, and what a stage in the match. And Jim Courier waiting. He would love to get back in the locker room. He's 2 sets to 1 down. It's slippery out here, boss.
Thank you.
Jorge Diaz looking for instructions. Alan Mills arrives in the corner. And he's saying it's going to be stopped. No.
Well, I in fact think it's surprising of Courier. I think this is a horrible time for him to go off and have to serve at 3-4 in the 4th set, even though he is 30-15 up. He'll come out cold, possibly a little bit nervous, and it will be a difficult situation for him.
You may have caught that little reaction from Courier, pointing to his coach and then to his head, saying, I've lost my brain out here, I need to get it back out, back together. Tim Henman still to leave us. The court coverers have done their job so superbly that almost caught him in the process. But 2 hours and 46 minutes of actual playing time. As we look up into the skies, it's pretty grey, but it's only a steady drizzle. And it's Henman who leads by...
I think if you ask most boys in the locker room at this stage, they would probably think Courier might come out the winner. He's 8-6 in the 5th final match.
We all know that Courier is not that comfortable at the net, but I still think he should come in more than he's been coming in. It's been pretty much the pattern because Courier doesn't come in at all. Henman either takes a return and comes in behind it, or as soon as he can in a rally tries to get in behind it. And I think it's an awful tough task to stay on that baseline on a grass court like this and have to make all the passing shots.
Round of applause for Henman every time he wins a point. If the crowd have anything to do with this, they're going to pull him through.
Second service.
That's a good shot from Courier. He didn't try to blast the passing shot. Knew there was an opening down the line. The approach shot was pretty short. Placed it there.
Hit inside the service line, didn't it?
Yep.
That should be an easy pass. Game point for Courier. Trying to take a 2-1 lead in the final set.
He's had a couple of those, Henman. That's what Jim thinks of that.
He had one on a set point that Courier had in the last set. Deuce.
I think Jim was smiling on the outside, wasn't he?
Yeah. Burning on the inside.
You bet. Courier just went up to the net and gave it a little kiss and said, "Take it easy, fella. Let's not have any more of those net cords." That's pretty funny. Here he goes. Getting pretty desperate when you walk up and start kissing the net.
Oh, he's been locked up for a long time. Game to Courier. He leads 2-1 final set.
Two teams on equal points. Two teams keen to consolidate their top 8 posse. Get ready for a showdown with the Melbourne Storm Clash.
Some of the spectators take a little stretch. They've been out here quite a while today. Of course, 30-some thousand were here all day yesterday and didn't see a ball struck in play. They saw about 3 minutes of a warm-up before the rains came back. This match being played over 2 days. And now Henman to serve at 1-2 in the final set. And as you know, there's no tiebreak in the final set here at the championships.
Good play from Courier. He put that lob up high and down the line and then immediately ran across to cover the cross-court smash. That was the safe place for Henman to smash it. You really gave him the awkward smash, didn't he, down the line?
Yeah, come back down where there's not much court to play with.
Too long.
Good low return.
30-15.
These two guys have been thinking about one another for quite a few days now. Their thoughts on Sunday. We have a look at a fine drop volley angle from Henman. Sunday they would have been thinking about their match Monday. That got stopped with rain. They came out and warmed up yesterday. That was all they did. Then they went off court. And now they're on court again.
There's been some talk that if they get more bad weather, the players may have to play 2 matches in one day. I don't know if that'll happen. But there was a cartoon in the paper that they're sitting in the rain with a scoreboard up from their match. And the man says to his wife, they're talking about players having to play twice in one day. He says, these guys can't even play 1 match in 2 days. 40-30.
Deuce.
Courier applying the pressure. They asked Courier, the media, at the end of last week, what he thought about this match, and was Henman the favourite because he's the higher seed. And Courier said, hey, I've won a number of Grand Slam championships. Timmy Henman's never won one. This little barb going out towards Tim.
Well, their head-to-head is 2-0 for Courier also. They played in '97 in Doha, and Courier won in 3 sets. It's a 2 out of 3 set match. And then the Davis Cup you mentioned, 7-5 in the 5th.
I would have had Henman as the favourite coming into the match.
Particularly on grass.
Yes, that's why. Playing on grass. Forced to play a very difficult half volley on that last point, and Courier was pretty upset with himself when he played this wild attempted pass.
Game. Henman.
So games are now 2-all.
Two games all. Final sets.
Nice choice of shot from Henman, seeing Courier move in and turns around and raises the fist to the crowd, encouraging them to keep up their support. Not that they need any encouragement, mind you. Got around to what he wanted, Courier. His favourite shot, the forehand. Did all the hard yards with the backhand. And when he was in position to put it away, there's the backhand down at the feet. Now he's moving forward, looking for something short. Gets around onto his favourite shot. Hits the tape.
Really
Can't believe it.
Overplays it a little bit. I don't think he had hit it as hard as he tried to hit it. He was so close to Henman. Love 15. In the locker room yesterday during the rain, someone asked Henman's manager, David Felgate, if Henman and Courier talked to him. He said, well, they said hi. He said that they didn't exactly have dinner together.
Come on, says Henman. There was a feeling Courier taking a risk here coming in on this shot, because it was always going to be exposed across court when he came in from that wide.
Well, he ran around to hit the forehand. He was way over in the backhand corner, so there's a lot of court open.
Well, that's a smart approach shot. He took the chance, Henman. He took the risk. He knew... Sorry, Tony.
2 break points now.
He knew that Courier would be waiting back behind the baseline.
15-40.
What a smart change-up.
Henman gets the break. He leads 3 games to 2, final set. And we have a little trivia for you. When was the last time Australia had 2 men into the quarterfinals? We'll have that answer after the break.
I think I'm being set up again to look like a dummy, but I'm going to go right out on a limb here. I'm going to say I think it was 81. I think it was Frawley and McNamara.
Wow, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. You are a historian.
First one I got right all week.
And we come back to the live action with Henman up a break in the final set, serving at 3-2.
Actually, I take that back. I got one right in week 1. It was the 2 times I beat Fred Stolle in doubles here.
And you won't let him forget that, will you?
I keep reminding him every night. I was kind of surprised that Courier moved off to the right then.
15 love.
The obvious smash for Henman was to smash it the way he smashes it into the open court, get the angle. He didn't even need an angle because Courier ran to his right.
Yeah, and then slipped. He was in bad shape anyway, so it's 15 love.
15-all.
This is 11th double, according to my records.
It's funny when he serves a double fault, you hear
The groan.
about 12,000 groans.
$30-15.
That was David Felgate, lower left-hand part of your screen there, the manager for Henman.
Manager or coach?
Both.
$40-15.
So Henman a point away from stretching his lead to 4-2 in the final set. Oh, man, what an angle.
Terrific shot. He had to come up with something special here, Courier, because Henman was certainly right in the point at this stage. Unless he hits a winner, he's going to be dead, because you could see Henman taking off, looking for the cross-court volley.
This match is now 3 days and 3 hours and 45 minutes old. Another opportune net cord pays off for Henman. He acts like he did it on purpose. He leads 4-2 final set.
And Courier is just standing at the back of the court, stunned, looked up to the sky
Henman leads
again.
by 4-2.
he just
Final
looked up to the night, to the sky, and there he goes. Why me?
Brings a smile to Courier's face. Center court holds 13,813 people. All but a couple are pulling for Henman.
Love 15.
It's his 9th double.
$15-all.
Probably why you wonder, Tony, that Courier
15.
doesn't come to the net more. It's a very efficient volley he hit.
Yeah, and I mean, he's not a great volleyer, and he's not really comfortable up there, but it keeps Henman from just chipping the ball and come running in, and Courier having to make all the passing shots. 30-15. And serve and volley, one of the rare occasions, and it's now 40-15.
40-15.
3% of the time he's serve volleyed in the match. That's tough work on grass, isn't it?
Oh, I think so.
Back.
Yep. Of course, he's not a natural serve and volleyer. Return caught the sideline, I think. Yeah, so it takes a little different bounce. You see Courier was out ahead of it. It slowed down a little bit when it hits that chalk. 40-30.
Game
to Courier. Henman leads 4 games to 3 with a break in the final set. Look at that tremendous crowd watching the big screen, those that don't have tickets for the center court, and they're watching Henman play on that huge screen. That's the biggest crowd we've ever seen out there. This is day 9 of the championships.
I know where they're coming from. They're coming from court 1. You can see all the empty seats in court 1. There's a ladies doubles match on there. They've gone outside to watch the big screen and Timmy play.
Well, you got to like his position. He's serving at 4-3 in the final set and has a service break against Jim Courier.
It's sort of fun out of that big screen too. They cheer as if they're actually inside watching the match. They groan and cheer and. Courier knows he's got to throw caution to the wind here if he wants to get the break back. Good return, a little bit of room across court, and he takes it. Henman was looking down the line.
15-all. You know, Courier's going to go out swinging from the heels.
Good choice of shot from Courier as he came forward. Henman was committed at the net. He was looking for a little dink down the line or cross court.
(30-15). That's a speed of shot there.
2 pretty big returns from Courier the last 2 points. He's going after it.
That one just sort of handcuffed him. It got on him so quickly.
I bet you he doesn't go out to the forehand again.
Break point for Courier.
Pressure's on out there.
30-40.
Henman hit a pretty good second serve. He's already served 11 doubles in some shaky situations. That's his girlfriend there. And parents in front row. It's about the center of your screen now.
That's the break back.
Games are now 4-all, final set.
Pretty good game from Courier, eh? Another booming return down low at Henman's feet. Now he's set up with his best shot. He can go either way there. Henman had to make a move one or the other.
And that's what you expect from good players. They become a little fatalistic when it gets tight. They say, I've got to make some shots. I can't just get it back in play.
15 love.
I think he was going to try to hit it real hard. At the last minute, he decided to slice it. He did a little bit of both.
He just got a little nervous.
Maybe so,
He
but
lost
didn't
it.
come up quite as high as he thought. Give him the benefit of the doubt.
It was a bit of a push, really. Okay. Just looking at the two players out there, Tony, you get the feeling that Tim Henman hopes he can win the match. Jim Courier thinks he can win it.
Well, and he has that history, and again, that Davis Cup match when he managed to figure a way to win. A very poor approach shot by Henman sets this up, makes it easy for Courier. Look where it lands. A good pro should make that shot. 40 love.
Game, Courier.
With an ace, Courier moves to a 5-4 lead, final set. Well, it's pressure time now for Henman. The Brits feel the pressure here all the time because everybody's saying the next Fred Perry, the next Fred Perry. So now Henman serving at 4-5, trying to stay in this match.
Players are ready, thank you. $15 love.
Oh, very good shot.
Well, we've seen a lot of good backhand overheads today, haven't we?
We sure have. This was a very serious question that Courier was asking of Henman. He had to come up with something special.
Pretty tough to reverse it like that. Love.
40 love.
Nice control forehand from Henman. Those shots look easy when you do everything technically correct.
Courier's starting to make some pretty tough returns.
40-15.
Those two games he played from 4-3 down in this set. They were the best two games Courier's played in the match.
Yeah, he looked awfully sharp, didn't he? Just when things were looking a little bleak. Well inside the baseline to make that return.
Some real pressure on Henman now.
40-30.
Courier jumping all over his second serve. Tremendous pressure on Henman to get his first serve in on this point. He would not want the score to get back to deuce.
And he doesn't want to have to look at a second serve here either if he doesn't get his first serve in. Good serve by Henman. Good return by Courier, but he prevails, so it's 5-all final set.
Were you a bit surprised he went to Courier's forehand? Such a big point?
Well, he takes a bigger swing on the forehand side, and he came in with the first serve. He had plenty of juice on it. So now we're down to the same situation as when they played Davis Cup. 5-all in the final set.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wide.
15.
Henman thought the serve was long. It's long.
30 love.
It's a tough time in the match for both players when you have close calls because you're so tense anyway. That's his 10th double.
30-15.
Trying to surprise him with a pretty hard second serve wide, and he misses it.
Yep. Courier didn't get enough angle on the volley. He was committed out wide here. He wasn't going to be able to come back. He needed to get a lot more on that.
In retrospect, if he goes in behind Henman, he's got an easy point. Those are instantaneous decisions one has to make.
Henman's going to be looking for something short here if he can. To
try to get in, probably, huh?
Yep. And that was the pressure on Courier. He knew that Henman would be charging. He tried for a little extra, and it wasn't there.
Break point now for Henman. If he converts, he'll come back and serve for the match.
Net first service.
Courier wasn't trying to do too much with that serve. He was just trying to spin it in.
He got his net
Yeah,
caught.
finally.
He's been after one of those. He's been pleading to the sky for one. What a time to get one, eh?
Indeed.
Oh.
Deuce.
Good
Another
shot.
break point.
The second backhand from Henman was a terrific one. It was difficult because he was moving forward. Have to do some great racket work.
Advantage Henman. Thank you.
Just sort of pushed the return back, didn't he?
Well, he's been doing that, and Courier hadn't been doing much with it. And that time, Courier put some pressure on him, came on in. So 2 break points saved by Courier. Some people think this is when Courier's at his best. Big matches and big pressure. Again, Courier comes in, and it pays off for him.
Advantage Courier.
I don't know, Henman again sort of just pushed the returner serve back down the middle of the court. He didn't go for anything, and at this stage of the match, I think you've got to go for a little bit. at least.
Game to Courier. He saves 2 break points. He leads 6-5 final set.
To Arthur McCann, who delivered milk to the people of Ballarat for 54 years. To Nancy Eldridge and her husband Alan, who provided a loving home to over 60 foster children. To Alec Telfer, whose only 2 brothers never returned from the Second World War. To Vic Vella, who did return from Vietnam. To Anne Dan, who's devoted over 40 years raising money for a local hospital. And to all those older Australians who've worked harder and sacrificed more than we'll ever know to make this the wonderful country that it is, we say enjoy the International Year of Older Persons. You've earned it. Australian Pensioners Insurance Agency. Understanding, not just insurance.
There's more to Mazda's Special Edition 626 and Metro. $2,000 worth of extras for $500 means everyone will know you've got a lot of change.
Well, a tight situation, obviously, for both players. And what you wonder is, are they both thinking about Davis Cup the last time they played when Courier prevailed 7-5 in the final set?
Players are ready. Thank you. Thank you.
Henman serving at 5-6.
$15 long. That first service. $15-all.
That's his 12th double fault, and it's 15-all.
Not a good time to serve one, there's 40 loves, I guess, is okay to serve a double fault, but
if there's ever an okay time. Yeah. But Henman is known to be a little shaky on the second serve, and this is tremendous pressure. All these people here barracking for him.
15-30.
Well, a little opening. Things get pretty tight here, Nuke. Yeah, I don't know whether Henman thinks that he'd rather serve to Courier's forehand than his backhand on these big points, or whether he feels more confident of getting it in when he serves to the forehand.
That's a good point there. I think that may be the case. I'm going to try to make my first serve, even if it goes to his strength.
See, there he went again to the forehand on the big point.
You don't expect this second serve to be very deep if he makes it. And just like that, it's 2 match points.
Right where they stood at the beginning of April. Courier won the match, 7-5 in the 5th in Davis Cup. Let's see if he goes out to the forehand again. He might try a big flat one down the middle.
Thank you. Players are ready. Thank you, please.
Good first serve again to the Courier forehand.
30-40.
Boy, now you talk about a tough pressure second serve.
That almost hit the baseline, that first serve. Good volley, under pressure, right in the corner.
I think Courier's mad at himself because he didn't get that return anywhere near where he wanted it.
It wasn't low enough.
No, and it's high, straight back at him.
It's the type of volley Henman would expect to be able to hit like that, but on match point,
yeah, who knows?
Takes a lot of courage to hit it that close to the baseline.
So 2 match points saved by Henman. You can see the gusty wind out there. See the shirt blowing. That adds to the tension. Match point number 3 for Courier.
Advantage, Courier.
Got that return down right at his feet.
Wow.
Ace number 13. What a time to come up with that big one. If he misses that, he's got to look at another second serve. Championship stuff there.
Deuce.
As I said a while ago, these matches are not won by holding back at this stage of the match. You got to put yourself on the line.
Curious, and I should have rolled that backhand instead of trying the underspin lob.
At least the approach shot from Henman was a lot better. It was just past three-quarter court, and that really set up the point.
Advantage Henman.
Now it's game point for Henman. Trying to even at 6-all in his final set. Again, a reminder, no tiebreak in the final set of the championships. Someone's going to have to win by 2 games. Ace number 14. Henman gets even at 6 games apiece. Saved 3 match points.
209K, the last serve. It's almost right up there with the fastest one he served in the match. And after he served that ace, he walked up to the net and just sort of stared at Courier for a little bit, as if to say, "You're not beating me 7-5 in the 5th this time. I'm not going away."
Players are ready. Thank you.
Wide.
Love 15.
Ball just missed on the sideline. Good call.
Well, an opening for Henman now at love 30.
This was very good anticipation from Henman. After he hit the previous shot, he was already running forward, anticipating what type of shot Courier was going to give him.
Thank you.
15-30. Thank you.
It's out. 2 break points now for Henman.
He was asking a lot of himself in Courier as he ran around the backhand. He really got himself out of position. He was forced to go for something special.
That is his favorite forehand, the off forehand. So now the worm turns.
Players are ready.
Henman just saved 3 match points on his serve.
(30-40).
Well, just like Henman did to Courier, he comes up with a big serve right down the middle.
Deuce.
And it's deuce. So 2 break points saved by Courier. Well, Courier should have been in behind that previous shot.
Advantage Henman.
He'd have had a sitter volley.
He really would have. An easy put away had he come in.
Another break point for Henman.
See if Henman can be a little braver on his shots, if he can get the right one to hit.
Another good first serve under pressure by Courier. Back to deuce.
Deuce. Advantage Courier.
That's now 12 aces for Courier. And again, he's at game point.
Game Courier.
Game Courier. He now leads 7 games to 6. Final set.
How does it happen?
So in the last 2 games, Henman saved 3 match points. And then Courier came back and saved 3 break points. And Henman serving uphill at 6-7 in the final set.
Thank you. Players are ready. Thank you.
Jorge Diaz is the umpire, trying to keep control.
$15 love. $30 love.
Good thing that ball boy moved out of the way. He'd have been steamrolled by Courier.
Got a net cord, Courier. He's been after them, but it was at the wrong time.
Let's this youngster get out of the way here just to the left of your camera. No, you didn't see it. 40 love Henman, trying to get even at 7-all in the final set. He does that. Good service game that time by Henman. What's your feeling now, Newt?
Oh, you can toss a coin at the moment. You can't get out of the back of your mind the fact of Courier is just such a street fighter in these situations. He's almost like he's out there and he says, you can beat me, but you're going to have to kill me before you're going to beat me.
That's about right, too. And you got to give Henman a lot of credit, too. Down 3 match points on his serve, 15-40, got it to deuce. Another one, that's Tim's parents right there in the front.
Thank you. And then I guess you look at the other side and you look at the Henman. He's shown he's got the medal to fight out those 3 match points. And he's got the crowd.
And basically, he's the aggressor. He's the one that gets the net more frequently.
Well, 15.
Although when it's got really tight, Courier started to come in a bit more himself.
Courier's shot is long, so an opening once again at love 30.
Love 30.
Courier's previous round, he won 13-11 in the 5th set. Had to be taken off to hospital after that. His returns down the middle are not going to do much to hurt Courier on the big points.
15-30.
Let's see what Henman can do with this return. What you're looking for is where does he land it in the court? Does he play it back down the middle or does he go for the lines?
That was some second serve by Courier. Very, very close. 30-all. That's the situation. How close can it get? 2 sets apiece, 7 games apiece, 30-all.
It's been called in. I think it might have got a little bit of the baseline. Pretty hard. It's up the other end from us. Let's have a look at it.
30-40.
Looked like it got a little bit of chalk there to me.
Whatever the case may be, it's break point for Henman.
Courier's having a little chat to some people in the crowd there. Was it in? Was it out? What do you think, guys?
He's taking a little extra time to regroup.
Sure is. The English boys felt he did this a little bit at Davis Cup where he won those 2 tight matches, and the big points he was taking extra time, keeping him waiting.
Players are ready. Thank you. Quiet, please.
stab volley pays off for Henman. He's got the break, and when we come back, he'll be serving for the match. Courier got a warning for verbal abuse, so he said something that the umpire didn't take kindly to, and as Henman now comes out, he's serving for the match at 8-7. That's his girlfriend barracking for him.
Thank you. Practice.
Missed it. It was there for Courier if he could make it.
Wasn't a tough shot.
Nope.
Except the circumstance makes it tough.
15 love.
Love, 2 points from victory. Tim Henman.
$30 love.
Good.
Right in the corner.
3 match points now for Henman. Well, that was a terrific volley and that kind of pressure.
$40 love. Thank you. Players are ready. Thank you, please. Quiet.
Tim Henman prevails after a real struggle, gets his first victory over Jim Courier. 4-6, 7-5, 7-5, 6-7, 9-7. And Newt, that was quite a battle.
It was a great match and entertaining for the crowd. Both players staying back a fair bit behind their serve, so we saw lots of baseline rallies. And how evenly are these two blokes matched? The last match was 7-5 in the 5th Courier, and now 9-7 in the 5th to Henman.
And of course, Courier will think about those 3 match points that got away when Henman was serving at 5-6 and down 15-40. 2 terrific tennis players in a real dogfight. Acknowledge the Royal Box, the Duchess of Kent, and a salute to Tim Henman, his first win over Courier. So once again, Henman wins 9-7 in the 5th. We'll take a break and be back with more in just a moment.